Hi, this is Dr. Monika Akbar. I hope that you are enjoying Java programming. In the previous video, we discussed nested loops. We will discuss the nested looping in this video too, but there will be some added complexity in it. You may recall that we provided an exercise at the end of the previous video. We will solve the exercise here today. Even if you solve the exercise, I suggest that you watch this video because through the exercise, we will explain nested loops that are connected. The exercise today will demonstrate how the inner loop can be connected or dependent on the outer loop. Here is the exercise problem. Print 10 lines where the first line contains 10 asterisks, the second line contains 9 asterisks, the third line contains 8 asterisks, the fourth line contains 7 asterisks, so on and so forth. The sample output is provided below. Again, by watching the video, you will learn nested looping where the inner loop depends on the outer loop to determine how many times the inner loop should iterate. Let us analyze the problem a bit first. Notice that the output of the problem must contain 10 lines of stars. The first line contains 10 stars. The number of stars reduces by 1 in the following line. The reduction continues till the 10th line. Notice that the first line has 10 minus 0 asterisks. Line 2 has 10 minus 1 asterisk, line 3 has 10 minus 2 asterisks, line 4 has 10 minus 3 asterisks, so on and so forth. Finally, the 10th line has 10 minus 9 asterisks, which is just 1 star. If the problem was to print 10 asterisks in each of the 10 lines, we could directly use the technique we learned in the previous lecture. That is, we could write two for loops where the inner for loop prints 10 asterisks in one line and the outer for loop repeats the inner for loop 10 times. Running this code on the terminal will give 10 rows where each row contains 10 asterisks. However, this is not what we want. We need to reduce the number of asterisks in the consecutive lines. Notice that the outer for loop controls which line is going to be printed. That is, the variable I controls the line number. The inner for loop is responsible for printing certain number of asterisks in a line. We have to change the inner for loop because we are changing the number of stars to be printed for any line. The inner for loop is controlled by the variable j. We will change the inner for loop in such a way that it executes lesser and lesser number of times in subsequent lines. Recall that the first line should have all the 10 stars, the second line should have 10 minus 1 stars, which is 9 stars, the third line should have 10 minus 2 stars, which is 8 stars, the fourth line should have 10 minus 3 stars, which is 7 stars, so on and so forth. In the code, in our inner loop, how many stars should be printed is basically controlled by this condition. Currently, the inner for loop is printing 10 stars every time because of this condition. Now, how can we tell the program that we want to print lesser number of stars than 10, based on in which line of asterisk we are currently in? Notice that the value of the variable I holds the information of the current line number. We can use the variable I to design how many less number of stars than 10 should be printed. Recall that when we are in line 1, we should print all 10 stars using the inner for loop. Therefore, we want to subtract 0 from 10. Since the variable I has the value 1 when we are in line 1, we want to subtract I minus 1 from 10 when the variable I is 1. I minus 1 results in 0 because variable I is 1. When we are in line 2, we want to subtract 1 from 10. In line 2, the value of variable I is 2. Therefore, I minus 1 is equal to 1. Therefore, by subtracting I minus 1 from 10, we will be able to print 9 stars. When we are in line 3, the value of variable I is 3. Therefore, I minus 1 will reduce 2 stars from 10, which is 8 stars. So far it seems putting 10 minus I minus 1 to control the range of j will work for the first line, the second line and the third line of asterisks. In fact, it will work for all the following lines. Let us save the file, compile it and run the generated class file. We can see that we have the desired output, where the first line contains 10 stars, the second one contains 9 stars, the third one contains 8 stars, so on and so forth. The exercise today has shown how we can connect the inner loop with the outer one. There are many other applications that will require such connected nested loops. We will learn them over time with more complex problems. If you have not yet subscribed to our website computingforall.com or to this YouTube channel, please do so to confirm that you receive notifications on our new articles and videos. We will see you again in the next video. Wish you a wonderful day, evening or night, whatever is upcoming. Thank you.